Hello, welcome back. So earlier today, I did part one of the introduction video. I think it's called The Most Beautiful Life Goes On by the Rice Squad. And since this is a long video, 45 minutes-ish, so I broke it out into two. And now I'm going to start the second half. So without further ado, let's go.
First things first, you can't mention Map of the Soul Persona without mentioning Boy With Love. It was simple math. What do you get when you cross the singer of one of the best charting songs of all time that went platinum 59 times in 13 different countries with, without a question, the most globally dominant pop group of all time? Well, you get this. Nothing less than an instant hit. Number 8 on Billboard Hot 100, platinum in the US, 21 music show wins, number 1 on iTunes in 67 different countries. The most liked and the most viewed YouTube video in the first 24 hours. The fastest video to reach 100 million views. A current view count of over 1 billion views. 7 boys, 1 girl, and 7 different hair colors. They were the talk of the town, invited to talk show after talk show after talk show. The second single on the album was Make It Right.
I can make it right.
Written by Ed Sheeran himself, including a version featuring Lauv. The album debuted at number 1 on Gaon and sold 3.2 million copies its first month, and that's only in Korea. It became the best-selling album in South Korea ever. It swept every major Korean music show, winning Album of the Year in each one of them. They followed up this legendary EP with the Love Yourself, Speak Yourself World Tour, where they sold out both the Rose Bowl and the Wembley Stadium in only an hour, the only non-English speaking act to do so. They even performed as a solo act in Saudi Arabia, the first foreign act to do that. The last stop of their tour was at South Korea's largest venue, the Seoul Olympic Stadium. They ended up grossing $200 million. During this time, they also created a visual novel style game for mobile devices called BTS World, where
So I played BTS World for a little while. Again, it keep asking me to download more data. And life got the best of me, so I did not get to finish it. No, so
player can interact with the members. This also came with an original soundtrack with tracks unique to the game featuring Western artists. Zara Larsson, Charlie XCX, and Juice WRLD for the tracks A Brand New Day, Dream Glow, and All Night respectively. In December of 2019, the group swept the grand prizes for both the Melon and Mnet Music Award shows, the first artist to do that. Map of the Soul Persona was legendary, truly a marvel in modern music. So how could BTS follow up the best-selling album in South Korean history, you might ask? Easy. Make an even better-selling album.
yes.
And that's what they did with Map of the Soul 7. The album was released on February 21st of 2020, featuring the single
7 was my first BTS album. Then I went back to purchase an older version, and I got B, and I got Proof.
Black Swan and On. And sold over 4.1 million albums in just the first week, and the first Korean album to be certified as quadruple million on the Gaon Music Chart. It debuted at number 1 on music charts all over the world, including the US, Korea, the UK, Japan, and much of Europe. It's not an exaggeration to say that this album left a permanent mark on the world, launching BTS into legendary status and becoming the best-selling artist in South Korean history. BTS had scheduled a Map of the Soul tour for April of that year, which would have undoubtedly outsold their record-breaking tour only a year prior. But unfortunately, the COVID pandemic caused the entire tour to be postponed, including the show at the Rose Bowl, which I was supposed to attend. But that didn't stop BTS, who performed virtual concerts, spoke at the Dear Class of 2020 graduation event, and released the Japanese version of their recent album with an original Japanese single, Stay Gold.
Stay gold.
And to top it all off, this was only June. At this point, it was clear that BTS had already dominated their home turf, and they had topped the music charts all over the world. This time, their sight was set for the very top. Remember that scene in The Social Network where Mark and Sean talk about how they don't want $1 million, they want $1 billion? How they're not interested in catching 14 trout, but they'd rather catch an 800-pound marlin? Well, that's what they set their sights on. The marlin, the biggest music industry in the world, the United States. And at the top of that music industry, number 1 on Billboard Hot 100. This small group from a company that virtually no one had heard about 8 years ago planned to take on Goliath himself and dominate the American industry on their home turf. And all they had to do was speak English. August 21st, enter Dynamite.
Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring.
Their first English single simultaneously performed better than anyone had expected, but at the same time is exactly what we as an audience had come to expect from.
And they performed Dynamite so many times in different locations. And their location just got better and better and better.
The legendary boy band themselves. And they did it. They reached #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, the Global 200, and the Global Excluding US chart. And they made sure that if you hadn't heard of them before, you definitely have now. And if that wasn't already the biggest flex, on October 2nd, they came out with Savage Love BTS Remix with Jason Derulo,
Savage love. Need somebody break your heart.
getting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 again,
And of course, we also know what happened to that as well.
less than 2 months after already getting it #1 with Dynamite, and on the Global 200, where they actually replaced themselves at #1, the first artist to do so ever. And this is where we stopped in the original video,
Oh, okay.
October of 2020. So, what's happened since then? Well, not much.
Not much, really?
On November 20th, their 5th studio album, B, was released,
yes.
featuring the hit single Life Goes On. B was met with critical acclaim and hit #1 on Billboard 200 and the World Albums Chart, the 5th BTS album to do so, along with topping worldwide charts in countries like Belgium, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Portugal, and of course, their hometown, South Korea. And in spite of all these accolades, perhaps the biggest winner was Life Goes On,
Yeah, life goes on like this again.
a synth-pop showstopper encouraging its
Oh, I love this particular performance when Yoongi came out as a hologram because of his shoulder surgery.
audience to continue living life even in the midst of a global pandemic. The message was clear: don't give up, life goes on. It hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, the 3rd BTS song to do so. BTS gave the fans what they wanted with Life Goes On. Life Goes On joined the exclusive club of only 8 songs to ever top the Billboard Hot 100 that were not in English, a title most recently held by Despacito. But it was the first to do it in BTS's native tongue.
And Despacito, I know things in Spanish, and it was big, and you can hear Despacito on the radio day in day out. However, you don't hear Life Goes On, so again, there's a discrimination in the radio, right?
Korean.
Sleeper, Bad Bunny, and Tiny. Intentions by Justin Bieber and Quavo. Dynamite by BTS. Rain on Me.
The same month, the Academy announced that BTS's Dynamite would be nominated for the Best Pop Duo Group Performance, along with songs by J Balvin, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift.
So, one thing, maybe I do not understand the categories of Grammy. The Best Pop Duo Group Performance. On this list, right, BTS is the only group. Everybody else is just a collaboration. They're not an official duo or group. For example, right? Justin Bieber and whoever, Guavo and Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. I know they're big artists and all that, but they're not duo or group. They are just collaboration. So maybe I do not understand Grammys categories. To me, BTS is the only one who qualified to call as a group. But unfortunately, they didn't win for whatever reason. Yeah, so whatever.
This marked the first time a Korean pop artist was nominated for a Grammy. In December, BTS was invited to sing for Disney's holiday sing-along.
Better watch out. You better not cry. You better not find out.
And on New Year's Eve, Big Hit put on a New Year's concert where they performed again.
Yes, yeah, watch that.
I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring.
Things looked really good for BTS and their Grammy nomination, especially since on March 4th, 2021, the official news came. The International Federation of the Phonographic Industry, or IFPI, announced BTS as the Global Recording Artist of the Year, an award given to the best-selling artist of 2020, period, beating out 9 other prominent Western artists, making them the first artist from Korea, but perhaps more importantly, the first non-English artist to do so. Later that month, the Grammys. the main event that
Yeah.
everyone was waiting for finally arrived. With bated breath, BTS and the world watched. And, well,
And the Grammy goes to Rain on Me, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande.
Yeah, the only group in that category of the group performance did not win. Yeah, go figure.
they didn't win. However, they made history for being the first South Korean artist to perform at the Grammys, after presenting at the Grammys the year prior. March 31st, 2021, Big Hit Entertainment officially rebrands as HYBE and completely revamps their organization. BTS now falls under Big Hit Music, which is now a subsidiary of HYBE Labels, a division of the HYBE Corporation. 2 days later, HYBE acquires Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings. Scooter Braun Projects is a subsidiary of Ithaca Holdings that manages several artists including Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, J Balvin, Carly Rae Jepsen, Black Eyed Peas, Demi Lovato, and others, which means that those artists are now part of the same family as BTS. Then, at long last, BTS announced their highly anticipated follow-up single to their smash English hit Dynamite. And that single was Butter. May 21st, 2021.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Don't
It didn't disappoint. The retro summer pop hit met immediate success and universal praise. Butter was yet another #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and once again topped the charts around the world. Not only that, but it had 3.9 million viewers at its premiere, which broke the previous record held by Dynamite. It also broke the record for fastest YouTube video to reach 10 million views and 100 million views, both also previously held by Dynamite. It was the most viewed music video on YouTube in the first 24 hours, with 108.2 million views, once again surpassing the 101.1 million views set by Dynamite. And finally, at 11 million streams on its first day on Spotify, it once again set a new world record. And as an amazing gesture, RM makes a shout out to BTS's fans, ARMY, who helped them get to where they are today. All of this is to say, it was really big.
Their new single broke streaming records on Spotify and YouTube.
Obsessed with this song. Is really, really amazing.
I mean, what is the inspiration behind the new song?
Butter. Butter?
Butter.
Butter.
That's what Butter's about.
Butter eventually became Billboard's longest running #1 song of 2021, spending 10 weeks atop the chart, beating out Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License.
Yeah, we're here.
Yes,
the beat.
and the BTS meal. Yes, I went over to my local McDonald's. They did not have the BTS bag. The only thing I got was that the nugget sauce, but it did not have it. They did not have bags.
BTS, a drink and fries. Chicken mango.
And another thing I've seen people posting on the internet, right? The BTS meal in Asia was different from the BTS meal in the US. McDonald's is a US brand, but they did not do much here. You know, in Asia, they have different packaging and all that stuff. Here, there's no different packaging. Not every BTS, no, not BTS, not every McDonald's has that paper bag. And the only thing we got to show for was the paper bag, and I didn't get it.
Nuggets. And one more thing. Two more things. Sweet chili sauce and
Yes.
cage.
On May
I
26th,
like
the
the
BTS meal launched.
Yeah, the BTS meal at McDonald's.
Yeah, that happened.
Oh, wait. Sorry, just want to show you guys. I still have one of them here, the Cajun one. I'm sure expired already, but it's okay.
June 16th, BTS releases their third Japanese compilation album known as BTS The Best. It instantly hit #1 on Japan's Oricon chart and sold over 1 million albums, the first and only Korean boy group so far to accomplish this feat. The new Japanese single, Film Out, was released 2 months earlier and debuted at #1 on the Oricon chart. And as an interesting fact, charted at 185 on the Billboard 200 excluding US chart, joining Dynamite and Life Goes On, making BTS the only artist to ever have 3 songs in 3 different languages on the Billboard 200. On July
Oh my god, 3 songs, 3 different languages from one group. Can you name another group who has done that?
First, following an organizational restructuring, the Hybe Corporation announced that Hitman Bang, our same Hitman Bang who got the boys together, resigned as CEO of the company in order to focus on his passion for music production. And while he is still the chairman of the board of directors, he was replaced as CEO by Park Ji-won. On July 7th, BTS became official models for Louis Vuitton as they walked the runway for part of their men's fall-winter 2021 collection.
And you have to admit that our boy, not to throw shades on those models, but our boys, they look so much better. They look like they're born models compared to the actual professional models.
They were named as ambassadors only 2 months prior, and then for their teaser trailer, they forgot to put V in the video. And finally, that brings us to July 9th, Permission to Dance. The hit song, which was written by Ed Sheeran, spreads positive vibes as the world starts to recover from the global pandemic. Its YouTube debut saw 72.3 million views in the first 24 hours, placing itself at number 6 of the top 10 most viewed music videos in the first 24 hours. Out of BTS's past 5 singles, 3 of them have been fully in English. And while this trend has been concerning for some fans who have been wanting more traditional Korean pop songs, there's no denying that BTS has enjoyed global recognition like no other international and particularly non-English group before them, and that itself is a sign of success that can't be ignored. And as a fun fact, there's a line in the song referencing legendary singer-songwriter Elton John.
When it all seems like it's wrong, sing along to Elton John and to that feeling.
He gave the song his personal approval.
Yes.
That same month, BTS once again tops the Billboard Hot 100 with Permission to Dance, marking number 5 of BTS singles that have topped the Billboard Hot 100.
Yes.
In August, Big Hit officially cancels the Map of the Soul tour due to the pandemic. But to everyone's surprise, only a month later they announced Permission to Dance on-stage tour, being their first live concert since 2019. The tour kicked off with a concert in Seoul in October, but later announced dates for Los Angeles in November and December. Barely 2 months after their previous number 1 hit, BTS collaborates with legendary British rock band Coldplay to drop yet another number 1 hit on Billboard's Hot 100 with My Universe.
Never ending forever, baby.
In November, BTS wins Artist of the Year at the American Music Awards.
The American Music Award goes to
BTS!
Not only were they the first K-pop group to ever win the award, but they were the first Asian act ever to win that award.
Next, we have Best Pop Duo or Group Performances.
Again. Oh.
The nominees are Butter by BTS.
Coldplay. Sorry, Chris.
The same week, they were nominated for a Grammy for Best Pop Group Performance. From November 27th to December 2nd, BTS held its first international concert since 2019 in Los Angeles, California.
Yes.
The Permission to Dance on-stage tour.
I went there on day
And,
1.
well, it was insane. They were to perform at the SoFi Stadium, one of the largest.
That was my first BTS concert. It was so great. My goodness. And after the concert ended, we did not want to leave. We just lingered in the stadium until we were politely asked to leave.
Largest stadiums in the United States, and coincidentally, it would be the same stadium that held the Super Bowl. Pre-sales started October 5th for those who bought VIP soundcheck tickets. And though ticket sales for the general public were supposed to start on October 9th, they ended up selling out before it even started. Demand for the tickets were so high that scalpers were reselling tickets for up to $40,000.
Yeah, the ticket that I got, actually, I was not lucky enough to get that ticket. My friend, who were a lot more, who has more luck than I did, she was able to get us floor tickets, but it's not, we're far from the stage, but it was floor. And I remember 2 days before we left for the concert, my husband just out of curiosity was checking for scalper tickets. The ticket that in the same row, the same section on the same row of our ticket, they were selling for $28,000. And my husband was like, you guys should just sell your ticket at a price and don't go. Just watch it online. I said, hell no, I'm not selling my ticket regardless of what price it is. So we went. It was great.
Thankfully, we were one of the lucky ones, and we were able to snag a few tickets and finally see them in person.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
It felt like a farewell concert, and it really
And I just want to let you know, show you that even though the concert has been come and gone, I did not want to let go of my memory. So I still have it on my phone. See that? See? Yeah, I'm crazy. What can I say?
was supposed to be, with the uncertainty about the future of the world, as well as Jin's enlistment looming over the group's head. But thanks to recently passed South Korean legislation known colloquially as the BTS law, the group.
So here is the my seat was, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but my seat was like on this side. So when you're on the main stage looking out, I'm on the right side of this section. So I'm like right here. Yeah.
Had been granted a postponement on their mandatory military service until further notice. And just to show that they weren't done yet, only 2 months later, tour dates were added for April 8th, 9th, 15th, and 16th in Las Vegas, Nevada. On December 6, 2021, BTS surprised their fans as they launched individual Instagram accounts for the first time ever. In doing so, V broke the record for the fastest time to reach 1 million followers on Instagram in just 43 minutes. And then he also achieved the fastest time to reach 10 million followers after only 4 hours and 52 minutes. The same day, the group announced that they were suspending activities in order to take an extended period of rest so that they could spend more time with their family. And this is crazy. This is only their second break that they've ever taken since their debut in 2013, which is just such a testament of how hard they actually work. The break was definitely well deserved.
They deserve every break.
우리의 멋진 방탄소년단
축하합니다. 방탄소년단 버터.
방탄소년단.
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 On December 11th, BTS swept the Mnet Asian Music Awards, winning all 4 daesangs. This marks the 3rd consecutive year that BTS has swept the awards, showing no signs of slowing down in their home country. In February, BTS won IFPI's Best-Selling Artist of the Year award for the 2nd time in a row, the only artist ever to do so, and only the 3rd artist to win more than once, along with Taylor Swift and Drake. Impressive considering how new BTS is on the international stage compared to the others. On March 25th, Snoop Dogg officially confirms an upcoming collaboration with BTS that he had been hinting at since January of the same year. Funny enough, he admits that he didn't know at the time exactly how big they were.
We're getting calls from the biggest artists in the world. I got a group named BTS that's waiting on me to do a song with them right now, and I'm trying to figure out if I got time to do this.
Regardless, it's nice to see BTS revisit their hip-hop roots every now and then. And that brings us to today. Sunday, April 3rd, 2022. BTS had been previously nominated for the Grammys once before, and even then, they were by far the most accomplished and critically acclaimed artists in their category, and they didn't.
But because they're Asian, I don't want to play the race card, but I have no other explanation as how they did not win the Grammy second time. When, first of all, that particular category, as I mentioned, group, dual and group performance. In the second time, you can say Coldplay, they're a group too, but Coldplay didn't win either, right? So you don't need to be a group to be in the group category. Well, however that works, I don't get it.
Didn't win. Unfortunately, history repeated itself. They once again were snubbed of the trophy. Some might regard this as a huge loss, a huge blow to BTS and their fans. Sure, some might...
We don't care. We love BTS regardless of what it is. It's just that they really want to win a Grammy, and they deserve to win a Grammy. But whatever.
Say that they missed out on the most prestigious music award the world can give.
Why is it the most can talk when I'm angry? I can talk. So who decided that Grammy is the most prestigious award for music? Who who decided on that?
Right?
I want to say Mnet is the most prestigious. How's that?
I don't
Or Billboard.
argue, no, not really. I'm sure if they had one, Army around the world would celebrate as BTS wins against all odds in a rigged award show skewed towards American English speaking songs. But the truth is, they never needed to win an award to garner any sort of praise. They don't need a trophy to be validated. They were able to do that all on their own. Boy bands come and go, but BTS continues to prove themselves by pushing the envelope, pushing themselves to the limit. BTS sets new records, they smash decade-long records, and then they replace themselves by breaking their own records by the very next thing that they do. That's just what BTS does. From humble beginnings in their old studio dance practice room to selling out the world's largest stadiums, these 7 boys have crawled their way up to the top thanks to their own blood, sweat, and tears. They dominate a world that 10 years ago would have been unthinkable for any Asian group. Even 5 years ago, the majority of people you'd meet wouldn't have listened to K-pop or even heard of K-pop. In the past year, their popularity has grown so much that we often forget how groundbreaking they are as a group and how much progress they've made in such little time on the world stage, not only for themselves, but for Korean and Asian representation for a whole. From the early days of their first fan meetings to today, a staggering 41 million members of ARMY have been with them, some since the beginning, but others joining along the way. Each one of us started following them because of one of their songs that spoke to us, or maybe it was something that they said, or their amazing talents that spoke for themselves, or maybe it's something they stood for, or maybe you just think they're hot. And that's fine too. Regardless of the reason you initially started following them, the important thing is that you're here for it, and that you're along for the ride, and that you continue to find beauty in the things that they do, because according to the group themselves, they chose the theme for their album, The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, because in life, beauty coexists with uncertainty. And even in uncertain times like ours, we can find that beauty. And with all their talent, the members of BTS really could have chosen to do so many other things, but they chose to share some of that beauty with us. And I'm grateful for that. And I can't wait to see what the future holds. And that's our April 2022 update. There's been lots of crazy things happening recently, and I'm excited to see what the rest of 2022 has in store for the group and for all of us. Thank you to everyone who's been watching our videos. We're always looking to improve our videos, so if you find something that needs improving, leave a comment below. And remember, this video was made possible by Vapor95. Use our link in the description to get 15% off your order. And a big shout out for our over 180,000 subscribers. That's insane. You guys are the best. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone.
Okay, so that was Rice Squad, or I think they used to be called Asian Theory. Their BTS, I would not call that introduction. It's more of it might be introduction. Yeah, it's somewhat an introduction to BTS. And I really enjoy watching this format because I think the ones I've watched before were pretty much about the group as a whole or individual members. This one is combination. I also talk about all their accomplishments at the end, and it gives us more information about them, their activities and their accomplishment over just where did they come from and the individual members. I'm still hoping to eventually find an introduction that will give us more information on Jin, as I mentioned in part 1, that all of the introduction I've watched so far, I'm sure that there are plenty out there. I only watched a few that, I don't want to say it again because I mentioned it already in part 1, that they did not give enough credit to Jin. They just very superficial about Worldwide Handsome, how he got noticed or how he got scouted because of his face. Yeah. And nobody mentioned anything about how he took care of the kids. I mean, when I say kids, their kids, but how he took care of the other members, right? The rumors I heard, I don't know whether it's true or not, about how he took care of the other member. He came from a wealthy family, and he would go home and take the utensil from home and bring back to the dorm because they did not have the money to buy a lot of things. So he would get food and utensil from home so he can feed the kids, the other members. I don't know whether it's true or not, but if it's true, I will hope that it will be somehow work into that to show his personality, because all the introduction I see just say very superficial. But anyway, that's besides the point. This video I really enjoy, and I'm glad to see they highlighted the BTS's accomplishment. And I hope that we as army will support them as we go, because we don't know what's going to happen with the military, right? And we don't know what's going to happen with the solos. Are they really going to be the military? That's why they're doing the solos. Whatever it is, if they go to military, if they're enlisted or not, we are here to support them, and we will wait for them to come out to rejoin us from the military. That's it for today. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.